Hello everyone, it's Ms Redmond here with your third summary PowerPoint from the Elements, Atoms and Compounds topic. This lesson is called What are Compounds? If you haven't got one already, please go and grab a pen and a piece of paper so that you can write down any notes and do any little tasks that I set you as we go through. Here's our learning journey as usual. Feel free to pause the video now and write down those points. So, what are atoms? Atoms are the fundamental building blocks of all substances. So here we've got a diagram of lots of different types of atoms. So this would be a mixture because we've got different types of atoms, not the same type. If they were all the same type, this would be an element. Here's a very detailed diagram of an atom. That's a bit of a preview to what you're going to get onto in year 9. Here's another visualization of that. We're not really sure what atoms look like inside, so this is an artist's impression. And this is another representation of an atom simplified so that you can see the different parts that are inside. But again, this we will get into in year 9. Okay, elements versus compounds then. Elements are substances that contain only one type of atom, and they're all listed in the periodic table. So all of the elements, all of the atoms of hydrogen are the same type of atom, and they're all different from all of the atoms of lithium. They're all different to each other, but all the atoms of the same element are the same. Compounds contain more than one type of atom chemically joined together. So compounds are different to mixtures. Here are some examples of compounds. So, in fact, not all of these are compounds because this one is hydrogen gas. That's just made up of one type of atom, just hydrogen, so that's an element. Same here, one type of atom, just oxygen. That's the element oxygen. That's the element nitrogen. That's the element chlorine. Down here along the bottom, you've got some examples of compounds. So we've got an atom of the element nitrogen, chemically joined, squished together, with an atom of the element oxygen to make nitrogen oxide. This is water. We've got 2 atoms of hydrogen joined to 1 atom of oxygen. So they're chemically joined together. That makes them a compound, not a mixture and not an element. Compounds. A substance made out of different atoms chemically bonded together. So here we've got some molecules of an element, and we'll talk more about molecules in another lesson, possibly this one. But if we react them together, they can form a compound. So this compound is water. Different colours from the previous diagram, but we've got 1 atom of oxygen joined to 2 atoms of hydrogen. Molecules. Molecules are 2 or more atoms chemically joined together. You can have a molecule of an element or a compound. This diagram is showing us several different things actually. Here we've got some atoms of an element. So we've got individual atoms, they're not chemically joined together to anything else, and they're all the same type, they're all helium atoms, so they are atoms of an element. Over here, we've got molecules of an element. So we've got atoms of oxygen, but they're joined together in pairs. They're chemically joined together, so these are molecules. But they're all the same type of atoms, they're molecules of an element. Whereas over here, we've got molecules of a compound because they're chemically joined together, so that makes them a molecule, but they're different types of atoms, so therefore they're a compound. We've got, in this case, hydrogen, 1 hydrogen and 2 oxygen, so we've got the compound water. Let's have a look at some other compounds. So this is water again, different colour coding, but it's still water. This one is xenon hexafluoride, so we've got 1 xenon atom and 6 fluorine atoms to make xenon hexafluoride. And here we've got a compound called butane. We've got 4 carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got 10 purple hydrogens joined onto those 4 carbons around the outside. This is probably an unfamiliar name, but you will become familiar with this in year 9 or 10, so this is a little preview. Mixtures then. Mixtures contain more than one type of atom or molecule that are not chemically joined together. This is an example of a mixture because we've got atoms of an element. So these orangey reddy ones are all the same type of atoms, so they're an element. And we've got molecules of an element. So we've got 2 purple atoms chemically joined together. The fact that they're touching here is showing you that they're chemically joined together. So this is a molecule, but they're the same type of atom, so it's a molecule of an element. Because these are all mixed together, they're all modelled together, we call it a mixture. They're not chemically joined. If we had some tweezers small enough, we could just pick these atoms and these molecules apart and put them in 2 separate piles without doing any chemical process on them. So this is called a mixture. Okay, have a look at these diagrams and see if you can describe them using the key words from this lesson. So I want to know if they are elements or compounds or mixtures, and if they are atoms or molecules. So remember that a molecule can be of an element or a compound. If it's individual atoms, then that must be an element. Or actually it could be a mixture as well, couldn't it? Because you might have different types of atoms. Okay, pause the video now and have a go at describing each of those 6 boxes, and I'll tell you the answers in a moment. Okay, so that one is molecules of an element. We've got the same type of atom, but they're chemically joined together in pairs. This one is a mixture of molecules of 2 elements. So we've got the blue element, they're the same type of atom, chemically joined into a molecule, and we've got the purple element, same type of atom, again, chemically joined into a molecule again. This one is an element in the solid state. These 2 are both gases. Well done if you added that extra detail. This one is a compound because we've got 2 different types of atoms, 2 different elements, pink element and blue element. And they are chemically joined together because they're all touching. So that is showing you that it's a compound and not a mixture. This one down here is, I don't think this would really exist in real life because it's a mixture of atoms, individual atoms, and molecules of the same element. So this is a red element. We've got individual atoms in the gas state, and we've got molecules of the same element also in the gas state. I don't think this would happen in real life, so that's maybe a bit of a trick question. The other thing to note is in real life, individual atoms don't have a colour. That's a property which you only get when you have lots of atoms together. And the last box is molecules of a compound, and you can have an extra super duper bonus point if you can tell me what that compound is, because it is water. We've mentioned it several times. So we've got 1 oxygen atom chemically joined to 2 hydrogen atoms, so that's 2 different types of atoms, 2 different elements chemically joined together makes it a compound, and molecules of a compound. Here's your summary. Atom is the smallest part of an element. We think of them as solid spheres. An element is a substance made up of all the same type of atom. A compound is a substance made of two or more elements chemically joined together. That's the key. They're chemically joined in a compound. A molecule is a group of two or more atoms chemically joined together. They can be an element or a compound. And a mixture is two or more different substances mixed but not chemically joined. So that's the difference between a mixture and a molecule or a compound. In a mixture, the substances are not chemically joined together. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I will speak to you next time.